Hello and welcome. This is Alice Sumnus here with SS Multimedia. Today, we're going to be talking about converting the metric units of capacity.
Alright, so let's talk about our objective. So our objective is understanding how to convert the basic metric units of capacity. So converting is about changing, right? But it stays the same. So a good example of that would be fractions, right? So you have 4 halves. You could convert that to 2, right? You're converting it, but they stay the same. They like different ways of showing it, but they stay the same. So another way is if you have 2 blocks this size, you could convert it to this, right? It's the same thing, but just 2 different blocks. So the same thing, right? Those are 2 ways to show it. Then there's the metric units of capacity. So there are 2 ways of measuring. There are 2 measurement systems. One is the customary system, or the imperial, right? The same thing. And then the metric unit, right? So the metric is more widely used, more commonly used. So we're going to go ahead. This one is kind of like an important lesson. Let's go ahead with this. Okay, then, of course, capacity would be... So, of course, capacity is how much something can hold. So if I have a water bottle, let me try and draw a water bottle here. That's not good, but we'll go with it. Okay, so if we have a water bottle, how much it can hold, the capacity of this would be, if we filled that water bottle all the way to the brim, that would be its capacity. How much is that? How much is there? Right? So same thing if we have a hollow block, right? Or a box. So say we have a box, right? There's and we can fill something in. If we fill it to the brim, that's its capacity, how much it can hold, right? And so I'm just gonna arrow there. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about the basic units of capacity. So there's a lot. Okay, there's a lot of metric units of capacity. There's deciliters, centiliters, all that stuff. But we're just gonna use 3 of them, and we'll talk about that right after this. And if you're worried that, okay, we haven't covered metric units in a long time, how are you going to learn how to convert it? We're going to start this off with the review, so don't worry about it. Okay, heading get started. So like I said, we're going to be starting with a review. Okay, so the review is about the 1,000 trio, or that's what I like to call it, right? So write them all down real quick. So number 1, the biggest is kiloliter. Okay, kiloliter. Right? Or KL. Right? You know what? I'm not going to capitalize that. Okay. Kiloliter. Then there is wrong color. Then there is liter, which abbreviation is L. So those are the abbreviations. Okay. Then there is milliliter. Milliliter. Okay? And its abbreviation is ML. Okay? And okay, now you're wondering, okay, why is these called the 1,000 trio? It's not. To be honest with you, it is not called the 1,000 trio. I'm not even sure what it's called, but it's not that. Okay, the reason I'm calling it the 1,000 trio is because of this, right? And this is just a term I like to use. 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. Okay? And then 1 kiloliter is equal to 1,000 liters. So the reason I'm calling it the 1,000 trio is because each one is equal to 1,000 of the other. So 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters, and 1 kiloliter is equal to 1,000 liters. Okay, so these are the 3 basic metric units of capacity. Right? Like I said before, there's deciliter, centiliter, all those other stuff. We're not going to get into that. These are the 3 ones we're going to talk about, because those are the basic ones. Okay? And the reason this one does not have any 1,000 thing there is because it's the smallest metric unit of capacity. So nothing else equal to that, right? So But we could write, right, if you want to, you could write, let me use white for this. This is equal to 1/1000th of a liter. Okay? So those are the thousand trio. That's what I like to call it. So now let's go ahead and get into the lesson. We're converting the metric units of capacity. So first, now that we know, we're going to start off with converting examples smaller to larger. Okay, so let's do this. We have, let's say we want to convert 5,000 milliliters to liters. Okay? So we want to know how much liters is 5,000 milliliters. Right? So, step one, we have to know, I'm going to go back to this page a lot in this lesson. How many milliliters is in a liter? Well, 1,000. Right? So, we're going to write that down. 1,000 liters in milliliter. That was very wrong. 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. So, 5,000 means we have to divide this by 1,000 to see how many liters there is. So it might sound a little confusing, but basically we're just dividing 5,000 by 1,000. Okay, so this should be pretty easy math, right? 5,000 divided by 1,000 equals 5. Okay, so what that means is that 5,000 milliliters to liters means there is 5 liters in 5,000 milliliters. Right, so that's only one. We're going to do quite a few of these. Okay, so the next one we have is convert 243,000 liters to kiloliters. Okay, so now I'm going to teach you a trick. This one is one way to do it. This one is a trick that I learned specifically. So I'm going to use blue here. All you have to do when converting, this is important, you have to be converting smaller to larger. If you're converting larger to smaller, this will not work. Okay, so smaller to larger. If you're converting from smaller to larger, all you have to do is just cross out the zeros. So 1, 2, 3. And if this number was, okay, so, well, first let's finish this. So we crossed out the zeros, we have 243. 243 kiloliters is in 243,000 liters. Okay? But now, do another one here, right there, that has some space. Let's do, I'm going to use white here. Do many questions and make sure it's red. Let's do 2,430,000, like that, okay? 140,000. So 2,430,000 is our problem. We want to convert that. So that's 230 liters into kiloliters. So we want to convert that into kiloliters. Okay. Now what would we do? We'd use that trick. Who would we do? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Answer is 243 again. No, it is not. Okay. The trick here, which I forgot to explain in the previous one, which is what I'm explaining now, is that you only cross out 3 zeros. So if I cross out 3 zeros now, voila. Okay, there you go. And now say we have a number here. Okay, this one's another. We have, okay, so here this one was 2,430 kiloliters, right? But now say we have a problem that says convert 243 milliliters to liters. How do we do that? Right? Because, okay, we know that this is not equal to liters. How do we do that? Okay, what we do, if you can't cross out 3 zeros, right? So here's the thing. There's only 3 digits. In order for there to be 1,000, there has to be how many digits? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's not 1,000 digits, so this cannot be equal to a liter. It's less than a liter. So what you do, you take this number, 243, okay, put a fraction bar, and you just write 1,000 below. And there you go. How many liters is 243 milliliters? 243 1,000ths of a liter. So that's how you can convert smaller to larger with metric units. Okay, let's do a quick review of that. First way is to divide by 1,000, right? Second way is to cross out 3 zeros as shown in these two. And the third way, if it's not equal to a liter, you just write a fraction bar. Okay? So now, let's go ahead and talk about converting larger to smaller. Right? So, this one, there's really not much of a trick here. So if you want to convert 2 kiloliters to a liter, it's very, very simple. Okay? But one way you could do it, you could do 2 times 1,000. Right? Or, right, so you would get 2,000. Or, second way is you take this number, you have 2, okay, and you're like, okay, let's add 3 zeros. Our number here is 2,000. Okay, this will work at anything. Literally anything. You have 582 liters to milliliters. Okay, let's take that number. We have 582, and we just we add 1, 2, 3. Our number here is 582,000. So 582 liters is equal to 582,000 milliliters. Okay, so that's the trick there, and really this will work with any problem you run into with the metric units. Right, so now let's talk about problem time. Okay, so we have 4 problems in our problem time today, and actually I'm going to write 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I want you to post in the comments below what you get if you got it right. Okay, so give it a go, pause the video. So I'm assuming that you've paused the video and tried it out for yourself, and now we're going to check your answer. Okay, so I'm going to solve the first one in white. Okay, convert 10 liters to milliliters. This is larger or smaller. So the trick here is 10, then we add 3 more zeros. 1, 2, 3. So our answer here is 10,000. 10,000. Convert 3 kiloliters to liters. Okay, so 3, add 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3, and our number here is 3,000. 3,000. Okay, and now we have convert 235,000 milliliters to liters. Okay, so let's do that. We have 235,000 milliliters, and now we're just going to take away the 3 zeros. So 1, 2, 3, and our number here is 235. Okay, and I wrote that down in the wrong color. I thought that doesn't matter, but like it makes me feel a little off. So 235. Okay, so now we're on our last problem. Convert 78,000 liters to kiloliters. 78,000 liters to kiloliters. Cross out the 3 zeros. Our number here is 78. So let's green 78. So there you go. These are all our answers, right? No, it's not. Why? Because you have to add a label, right? Because if I said convert 10 liters to milliliters and this would be 10,000 liters, that would be wrong. You have to write a label. So I'm going to go through all of them and write a label. So this one we're converting to milliliters. So this one is milliliters. Next one is 3 kiloliters to liters. Liters, right? Liters. Next one is convert 235,000 milliliters to liters. Liters. Convert 78,000 liters to kiloliters. To kiloliters, which means this is kiloliters. Okay? So there you go. Those are all of our answers. I hope you got them right and that you learned something in this lesson.
Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And when you subscribe, make sure to hit the notification bell. See you in the next one.